just grow your mental.
Efforts of government to turn around the economy in the past few years are yielding positive results, as the Vice President observes, especially as the nation continues to witness boost in the areas of agriculture, technology, creative industry, and manufacturing.
That portion of our work is so crucial, and it's a very detailed one, and we are going to do it step by step to ensure that we are able to improve the business environment for the small businesses. It's encouraging private sector investments in all aspects of the economy, ensure that the private sector plays the small economy and the big economy. Everybody has a part to play, and I'm certainly looking forward to the progress that we will see in the economy in the coming months.
What separates achievers from the rest is vision. You simply cannot create what your mind cannot see. This is true for individuals, businesses, and nations.
It is a conference which relevance is to pursue the dominion mandate to man, to be fruitful, multiply, and replenish the earth, and to subdue it. Well, it is not the Nigerian landmass, but the huge population that we have in the country. This is what this will bring about success in the country, and this is the focus of the government. So says the Vice President, that those people will be developed. Human capital, very, very important, he says, and will be the focus to meet the challenges in Lagos. Chide Onifade, NTA News.
Minister of State Petroleum Resources, Petroleum, says Nigeria is determined to utilize its gas resources as a solution to the challenges of climate change in its efforts to reposition the oil and gas sector. The minister gave the assurance at the just-ended 2020 World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. Petroleum, at a separate meeting, spoke on Nigeria's compliance with OPEC production cut, target oil price, the global oil market, as well as Africa's adaptation to rapidly evolving energy landscape. He stressed that as OPEC member countries, the overall goal is stability in the global market, notwithstanding geopolitical tensions in some member countries. Sorting and counting of votes ongoing in 11 states across the country where rerun elections are holding. Mayor Ogidi compiled a situation report from our correspondents at the various locations.
11 states having the feel of elections. Elections best described as products of the court. 2 in Abia State, 2 in Akwa Ibom, Bauchi State 2, Benue 1, and Cross River 3. That is not all. Imo State also got 2, Kaduna 2, Niger has the highest number of run elections, that is 7. Both still and motion pictures were in agreement. Turnout was high, and materials and personnel arrived early as well in all the states.
It's a history-making process today for Kano State.
We never witnessed such a peaceful election like this one.
As early as 8 o'clock, all the officers that are supposed to be at their desks, they are there. The turnout is even much more encouraging.
Though results are being awaited as sorting and counting of votes in progress, respective national commissioners were on ground, while anti-graft agencies keep check on any likelihood of vote buying.
It's free and fair. You can see people voting without intimidation. We're trying to ensure there's no vote buying, no vote selling.
Snatching of ballots, snatching of result sheet will never happen this time around.
It was not a cheering news in some areas, as one female corps member confirmed abducted in Okani West, Akwa Ibom State, and was not the best of times for a cameraman.
I think a female corper has been adopted. About 7 male corpers managed to escape. They carted our materials away.
And some persons are in custody. As I speak to you, investigation is ongoing.
Somewhat sad commentary in Cross River State also, as gunmen allegedly abducted officials with materials in Abi State constituency, and one impersonator with voters' cards caught in Benue State.
So far, so good. We had only one incident that is requires security intervention, and the security are taking care of it.
Peaceful as all agreed. So, INEC starts the year 2020 on sound footing, and more progress expected later in Edo and on the states. Mayor Ogede, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Independent National Electoral Commission has confirmed the release of a National Youth Corps member in Akwa Ibom State that was kidnapped. A statement by the Chief Press Secretary to the INEC Chairman, Rotimi Oyekomi, however, indicates that the election was not conducted in 8 polling units due to the kidnap of the electoral officer in Yakuri Abbey Federal Constituency in Cross River State. More political news now. The National Chairman of Progressive Congress, Adams Oshomole, has received some leaders of the People's Democratic Party into APC's fold. The defectors were led by the senatorial candidate of the PDP in the 2019 general elections, Abubakar Momo.
The unity rally to receive the new members, which held in Auchi, had the Minister of State for Budgets and National Planning, Clem Agba, and other leaders in attendance. Comrade Oshomole, who is from the senatorial district, is particularly happy that those in the opposition party who have given him tough time in the past elections are now with him. He wants those holding public offices to understand that power is transient and use this opportunity to better the lot of the people.
The state chairman and state executive to embrace all those who have come to join us. The local government chairman, they should do the same. But the Buhari directed all of us. He said APC must be rooted at the unit level. The unit should dominate their unit area. The world should dominate their world area. If you are not of God in your unit, you cannot rise to the top.
Alhaji Abubakar Momo, who left the APC fold in 2019, sees his return as an opportunity to expand the coast of the party and contributes to the development of the state. The former deputy governor of the state, Dr. Pius Odubu, Pastor Sage Zeyamo, former Minister of State Petroleum, Chris Ogemoye were among APC leaders in the event. From Auchi, Ifoma Okafor, NTA News.
The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, says the All Progressives Congress in Adamawa State is alive and will bounce back in subsequent elections. Rianu Bala reports that the SGF said this during an APC stakeholders meeting in Yola.
The aim of the stakeholders meeting, which comprises wards and local government APC chairmen and other party chieftains in Adamawa State, is to start early planning towards winning elections in the state come 2023. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, expressed optimism that, with commitment and strict adherence to the party ideals, APC will surely return to power in Adamawa State. He explained that APC is the only party with genuine programs and policies that will take Nigeria to the next level of development.
Principally for them to remain calm, to be focused, because we are going back to the drawing board to prepare to take away power from the PDP in 2023.
The APC chairman in Adamawa State, Ibrahim Bilal, among other speakers at the meeting, say they will remain firm in the APC and will continue to work towards the victory of the party. In Iola, Rayanu Bala, NTA News.
A federal high court in Abuja has refused to grant the ex-party application filed by the national vice chairman, northeast of the APC, Mustafa Salihu, former Edo State chairman of the APC, Anselm Onyezua, and others seeking to have the national chairman of the party, Adams Oshomole, vacate his office. A faction of the APC in Edo State, led by Governor Godwin Obaseki, had called for the removal of Oshomole, whom they claimed had been suspended by the party in the state. The move to oust Oshomole was frustrated when the court refused to grant the ex-party motion filed by Salihu, Onyezua, and others, but ordered that the defendants, Oshomole, APC, and others, be put on notice before the motion was heard to ensure fair hearing in the matter. When the matter came up for hearing, counsel to Oshomole and APC Damian Dodo Sang noted that they had not been served and drew the court's attention to the memorandum of appearance and undertaking to accept service of processes on behalf of the first and second defendants. The Attorney General of the Federation and the Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami Sang, has emphasized that Nigeria stands to drive immense benefit as President Muhammadu Buhari signed the instrument of ratification of agreement for the transfer of sentenced persons between Nigeria and the government of the Macau Special Administrative Region of the People's Republic of China. A statement by the Special Assistant on Media and Public Relations Office of the Minister, Dr. Omar Jibril Gwandu, says the objective of the agreement was to enable the sentenced persons to return to their places of origin for the continuation of their sentences where language or cultural barriers are not existent and friends and relatives pay regular visits which could facilitate and enhance the rehabilitation. It further adds that the instrument of ratification of the above agreement for the President's signature was prepared by the Minister and approved and directed by President Muhammadu Buhari in pursuant to the Federal Executive Council's memorandum presented in 2018. According to the statement, the agreement could enhance the image of the country as responsive to the needs of its citizens, guarantee the political and constitutional rights of Nigerians. With the agreement, persons in the correctional service centers of both countries who wish to serve their sentences in their home countries would be enabled to do so. The minister added that the parties are also to ensure that the sentenced persons would be aware of his or her property rights and guarantee access to legal counsel and aid. In a related development, a statement issued by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, affirmed that President Buhari has on Friday, 24th January, signed the instrument of ratification of the agreement on the transfer of sentenced persons between Nigeria and government of Macau Special Administrative Region of the People's Republic of China. In other news now, operatives of the Nigerian Immigration Service Airport Command, Lagos, have apprehended 9 girls in the process of being trafficked. The girls were picked up at the Murtala Muhammad International Airport on their way to Lebanon, Cairo, Dubai, and India. A statement by the Service Public Relations Officer, Sunday James, indicates that upon interrogation, 4 of the girls claimed to be traveling to take up employment without knowing their employers or the nature of jobs, while the rest claims to be going for a medical trip, which data confirms to be untrue. The Comptroller General of the Nigerian Immigration Service, Muhammad Badede, is therefore calling on parents to be wary of juicy offers abroad, which often end in exploitation or death. Victims of the annual building materials market fire disaster in Moshi area of Lagos have appealed to relevant authorities to come to their aid. Bolaji Akim reports on that.
When NTA news crew left the scene of the fire incident at about 5 o'clock in the evening, the fire had been put under control.
All the tools, the generator, the tools that we are using to cut, all has been used. We are able to curtail the spread of the fire. The fire has affected 11 buildings, but we are still going to count it extensively when we finish putting off the fire completely.
For the Iyalaja General, traders in Nigeria should always take precautionary measures to prevent fire outbreak.
A way of preventing these occurrences again is to prevent traders to have individual generators in the market. Then make sure, we've been telling them that when you are leaving the market daily, ensure that anything electrical or the gadgets must be turned off.
Because of the fire which destroyed property worth billions of naira is yet to be ascertained. In Lagos, Bolaji Akin, NTA News.
Right now, the Federal Safety Corps Marshal Boboyo Eyeme has noted with concern the continuous carriage of containers by floated trailers without proper latching, and has ordered that such vehicles be immediately impounded if sighted on the roads by patrol teams. According to BC Kazim, Core Public Education Officer, FROC, OAME says also that in furtherance of existing partnership between the Core and the Nigerian Ports Authority, the Marshal is also to partner with the NTA to ensure that such vehicles are not allowed to leave the ports until they are properly latched to enhance their safety while in transit. It is noteworthy to recall that crashes involving container-carrying trailers have been on the increase lately, and efforts must be geared towards nipping the incident in the bud. President Muhammadu Buhari felicitates with Governor Simon Bako Lalong of Plateau State on his investiture as Knight of St. Gregory. The great rejoicing with all citizens of the state and his family on the historic recognition by His Holiness Pope Francis. A statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garbashi, says the President affirms that the Governor has worked very hard to restore peace to the state over the last 4 years, noting that as Chairman of the Northern Governors Forum, the strategic leadership role the Governor is playing by consistently mobilizing his colleagues to tackle the peculiar challenges in the region and ensuring that the federal government pays more attention to the demands of education, health, and security is quite commendable. The President believes Lalong's contribution to Christendom, which attracted the Papal Award, will always be remembered and appreciated by posterity, using him to remain steadfast or urging him to remain steadfast in selfless service to humanity. You are watching Weekend File on the network service of the NTA. Today we are tackling the spate of rail track vandalism in parts of the country and possible ways and means of stemming the tide. Detailed reports on the situation on ground by our correspondents across the nation is up ahead after this break.
Ute. Let me give phone to Smally, make I follow.
It's Wasil, your former driver.
Hey! Wasil! The video call! Oh, Kako! Mommy! With my Glow 4G, I can now upload my cars online, sell, and make plenty profit. Guess what they call me now, mommy? The new mega online car dealer.
Wasil! Strike now when the iron is hot!
See, we won't be like Shaki. I will come and meet you specially and bring one big one for you.
Why you won't see me?
Your daughter. I want to marry her.
You know where? I've been wanting to know the
Hello?
When Glow 4G day of flow, confidence must stay body. Data is oxygen. Glow 4G, the new speed of life. Your #1 4G network nationwide. The very best from Glow, the grandmasters of data.
The Office of Auditor General for the Federation announces the second conference of Auditors General in Nigeria. Theme: Building Government Audit Institutions Nigeria Needs for the 21st Century. Special guest of honor, His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, President, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Venue: International Conference Center, Abuja. Date: January 27th to 31st, 2020. Time: 10 a.m. daily. Announcer: Mr. Anthony Mbeaine, FCA, Auditor General for the Federation. Office of the Auditor General for the Federation, promoting transparency, accountability, and integrity.
Admiralty University of Nigeria, ADUN, founded by the Nigerian Navy in partnership with international educators, is admitting students now. ADUN is open to all, and those who did not select ADUN on their JAM can also apply. ADUN offers degrees in emerging fields including cybersecurity, forensic science, software engineering, as well as regular programs. Exchange programs, allowing students to complete part of some degree programs at partner universities overseas. Industry skills to make its graduates globally competitive. Apply online now at www.adun.edu.ng. Email admissions@adun.edu.ng. Admiralty University of Nigeria. Excellence in education.
This year, the weather conditions Harmattan in Nigeria is harsh, with temperature dropping very low in some parts of the country. Many underprivileged children are exposed to these harsh weather conditions, putting them at risk to all sorts of respiratory infections with devastating consequences. We request well-meaning Nigerians to kindly donate warm clothing, blankets, beverages, soap, moisturizers, and other essential items for the benefit of these children. Get involved to support displaced and underprivileged children exposed to these harsh weather conditions. Powered by Aisha Buhari Foundation.
Information dey important, just like your identity. Now the only way we fit take hala you o. Make you go browse easy.gotvafrica.com. Sign in with your IUC number and mobile number and scroll down to personal details and address. Then check well to see say everything bam. You fit change the one wey not correct. To finish everything, just click the save button and it don't finish.
Thank you. I make sure say my phone number dey correct. That's now why GoTV fit call me make I come collect my own awoof.
Angel, anytime for my phone in Hawaii because now my correct phone number dey for book.
GoTV, live it, love it.
Not look me again, no. Make you go do your own.
You are welcome back. Well, we will be joining our guest tonight, Ni Ali, who happens to be the Director of Operations of Nigerian Railway Corporation. He'll be joining us from our Lagos Network Center. But first, let's take the first two reports focusing on the topic for today's program. The Lagos-Ibadan Rail project is key to promoting economic prosperity in Nigeria, but the alleged vandalism of tracks, sometimes around December last year, almost threatened the timely completion of the project. In the wake of this challenge, key players in the transportation sector are suggesting the adoption of technology and communal monitoring to save the huge investment from vandals. Michael Olaleye is our guide.
A new wind of possibilities breezing around the Lagos-Ibadan corridor. The rail system is here and is changing the face of transportation in Nigeria. The construction work of the project, which started in 2017, is rapidly progressing and giving rail of hope of the array of opportunities that will be activated along the axis when completed.
Working or doing a business in Ibadan will be very easy, and also it will increase the output of production in Ibadan.
A land that is even 45 minutes from here to Ibadan, so which will be very convenient and comfortable.
To business owners at their Papa Trade Corridor, the prospect of linking the seaport to the dry port in Ibadan is exciting. But as promising as this $1.5 billion project is, the act of theft and vandalism is an impediment.
One of the biggest challenges we've had is people stealing what we call the pandro clips. The pandro clips are the ones that hold the rail to the sleepers. Now, for the standard gauge, we actually insisted on a customized type of bolt for the track. And we're working with the Chinese on that so that it will not be something that anybody can just come easily and just take away.
The Nigerian Railway Corporation has, through collaboration with security agents, stemmed the tide. But key players in the sector are now emphasizing a stop to an act which they say is counterproductive to the quest of enhancing infrastructural efficiency.
We want to recruit people that work on the track. Usually, some
supposed to be from this local community. When the mentality has been that when you employ from the local community wouldn't want their environment to be vandalized. They wouldn't want the sea railway as their baby. They see railway as their property.
The government, in the first place, has to install camera along their routes so that anybody vandalizing can be seen and can be severely dealt with.
Beyond these measures, the agency is looking at the prompt completion of the project to salvage infrastructure on thefts.
By the time we increase the frequency of running, by the time there's a train, let's say every 30 minutes, every 1 hour, it's going to be difficult for people to do what they are doing now. And when we finish the construction we are doing, we intend to do freight, we intend to do passenger trains. In fact, we're looking at an hourly train for the passengers. We're looking at freight. So we're looking at a 24-hour cycle operation. Definitely, I think this will be a thing of the past.
The players say Nigerians led the gains inherent in the project overshadow any desire for vandalism and theft. In Lagos, Michael Olaleye, NTA News.
Thank you, Michael. After more than 30 years of construction, the first passenger train arrived at a train station in July 2019, months after its inauguration to commence passenger operation. Charles Alpha gives us a situation report on the 321-kilometer rail line.
In the quest to revitalize the railway and create alternative mode of transportation, President Muhammadu Buhari signed a deal worth billions of naira with a Chinese railway construction company to redesign and construct the Itakpe-Warri railway line. Since its inauguration by the Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, in November 2018, the Itakpe-Warri railway line has recorded an average of about 1,800 passengers weekly. The railway operates 3 times a week, carrying passengers from Ujevu in Warri to Itakpe in Kogi, with its stopping stations in Abraka, Agbo, Agenebode, Uromi, Ajaokuta, and terminates at Itakpe.
Before I was born, this project has been going on. But now, I'm feeling grateful. We are going to create enough employment.
I want to first of all thank the federal government for the fiduciary they have for this project.
With the rail tracks seemingly in good shape, the federal government intends to link the railway to Abuja, which will make it possible to travel from Warri to Kaduna by train.
I want to suggest that the federal government should introduce the movement of petroleum products by rail from Warri to Itakpe, so that the tankers coming from Abuja and the environment around this area can pick it from here and move to Abuja.
Again, with the dredging of rivers Niger and Benue up to Warri, it means in no distant future, goods coming into Warri ports will find their way to Lokoja, Abuja, Kaduna, and Kano if the Ajaokuta Itakpe-Warri railway line continues to receive the desired attention in terms of maintenance. From Itakpe, Kogi State, Charles Alpha, NTA News.
Now, let's return to Lagos, where our guest is already seated. Nii Ali. Nii Ali is the Director Operations, Nigerian Railway Corporation. Nii, good evening and welcome to Weekend File. Yeah, I hope you can hear me. Let me ask you the first question. Actually, the Managing Director of Nigerian Railway Corporation was sometime last year lamenting on the scale of vandalism of rail infrastructure in the Lagos-Ibadan axis. Tell us more about it. Well, Nii, I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me clearly? He can hear me. Okay, let me repeat the question. I am talking about the lamentation by your MD on the spate of vandalism on rail tracks between Lagos and Ibadan. We'd like to know more about it. Give us more insight into the incident.
There was a one-off incident where there was some vandalism of some of the clips on the new Lagos-Ibadan. However, that incident has since been corrected. The main problem that we faced had to do with the design of the pantry clips. We've now insisted that these pantry clips are not what we want on the Lagos-Ibadan railway. We've insisted that the clips that tie down the rails should be a special type of clip with a bolt, which makes it extremely difficult to remove. Furthermore, we've also got a railway police command, and we've recently had a command of the National Civil Defense Corps incorporated in the railway. And these guys are out there patrolling and ensuring that the integrity of the rail track is maintained.
It's just a one-off incident, but we heard that over 5,000 knots, or 5,000 clips, as well as over 10,000 knots, have been replaced by the Nigerian Railway Corporation. How true is that?
I don't think that number is actually correct. I don't know where you got those figures from. There are not as many as that. It didn't delay the trial run service that we are running. However, if you want to talk about nationwide and some of the problems we are facing in terms of, the narrow gauge railway, the railways that runs between Lagos and Kano and the railway that we run between Port Harcourt and Enugu, then yes, we do have quite a major problem with track vandalism.
Okay, thank you for that correction, because that's what is being speculated. Now, some are talking about the application of technology to tackle such menace, because of course we know that, as you rightly said, that the Eastern Corridor, suffers a huge vandalism of your property.
Vandalism on the Eastern Corridor is quite prevalent, and one of the reasons for that, in my opinion, is the non-frequency of the service that we operate there. And I think, once we start to operate a more regular service, then I expect the amount of vandalism to reduce, because basically when trains are running every 5-10 minutes, you won't have the time to even go near the track. But then, having said that, we're also linking up with some of the community leaders and ensuring that we do what we call local consultation and ensure that we employ people from the local environment to ensure that these people have a personal interest in the integrity of the railway. You have to remember, safety is paramount in moving people around. We don't want to have any incidents, and we have to make sure that the tracks are safe at all points in time. Having said that as well, one of the things that we make sure happens is that before a train moves, there will be an inspection of the track. So if anything has happened ahead of the train, we'll be able to capture it. But having said that doesn't mean that we want this vandalism to continue. We need to ensure that it stops, and we need to ensure that our passengers are safe and sound and travel on a reliable railway.
Yes, you talked about involving the locals, to monitor the tracks. So what is the plan like? Can we have an idea of what it is like? How do you intend to do that? Because many communities, of course, reside along rail tracks, which are very lengthy.
We have over 3,500 kilometers of narrow gauge track and coming up to 1,000 kilometers of a standard gauge track. As you can well imagine, a lot of this track goes through rural areas and also goes to places that are quite desolate. The plan and what we are doing is, number one, we recruit from the local environment. So the landsmen, the people that look after the track on a day-to-day basis, actually are employed from that local environment. Secondly, we also go out. We have a public relations department that goes out to meet local leaders and people in the areas along the track, get them involved, explain to them the benefits that accrue to them as a result of having this track in their environment, and also get their buy-in, let me use that phrase, to ensure that, it is in their interest to ensure that these things are kept intact. Because obviously when the train runs through their communities, it actually adds economic value to them as well. And what we are finding is a lot of the community leaders are actually quite engaged, and maybe a minute number of people in that community are the ones causing these issues that we are facing.
Okay, now in one of the reports that we played a short while ago, we learned from one of the respondents that Nigerian Railway Corporation, or rather the contracts of building rail tracks in Nigeria, involve the issue of customized parts. We want to ask you, why is it easy for vandals, to be able to, steal, especially the knots, which are so tight and, heaped on the ground?
That notion again. What we have are what we call pondro clips. They are naturally on the traditional railway, which is a narrow gauge, which was built, let me say, over 100 years ago. They're actually not knots. They're not bolts. They're not knots. They are clips that if you just hit with a hammer, they actually just come out. So it's quite easy to take them out. The problem with that is when these railways were being built, the environment was different, and vandalism was non-existent. However, what we are using now are bolt and clips with a special knot that you can't just use any kind of spanner to unscrew. You have to have a specially designed spanner, which is very unique and I would say more or less unique to the railway industry, for you to be able to unclip it. And then also, it takes a while for you to unscrew it. So for you to unscrew one particular knot might take as long as 3 to 4 minutes. And if you're running trains frequently, then what you will find is that you won't have the time to unscrew before, that's if you can even get the special spanner, you won't have the time to even unscrew it before a train is on top of you. I think, those are the kind of innovations that we are doing to ensure that it's not easy to take these things out anymore. We're also undergoing a program where we actually tack weld into the track some of our old pantry clips on the old narrow gauge railway to discourage people having the ability to remove them. And I think these are, issues that definitely make sure that these so-called vandals are discouraged.
Yes, I asked you that question because we're talking about Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, which of course is most modern, in terms of standard gauge, which is being put in place there. And if vandals can, have the techniques to unscrew what has been screwed already, then it becomes a problem. Could you just highlight more on the nature of what you have on Lagos Ibadan and what you have elsewhere in terms of the clips or knots or bolts?
Lagos Ibadan, we have bolt that has a special knot which requires a special screw for you to unscrew it. Now that makes it extremely difficult for you to remove. We've insisted on that, and that obviously is not foolproof, not 100% foolproof, but it's 90% foolproof. And now when you have a train running like every 10-15 minutes, as we propose on the Lagos Ibadan train service, once it's fully commissioned and up and running, you will not have the time and the technique to even be able to unscrew those kind of knots and bolts. But coming to the old, because on the Lagos Kano, on the old narrow gauge railway, what we're also doing is ensuring that some of our pantry clips are tack welded, so they're actually welded down to the track, so that you cannot just come there and bang them out and take them away. These are two things that will ensure the integrity of our track and ensure that our track is safe and sound and reliable for our passengers, and also reduce the amount of vandalism. Second to that, that's just on the infrastructure side, but also in terms of personnel. Like I said, we have a whole police command that's at our disposal and is determined to deal with this matter. And we also have the Nigerian Civil Defense Corps now having a railway command, which will also ensure that people that are caught are properly prosecuted and punished, just to discourage people from doing it. We intend to catch anybody that moves around with railway material unauthorized and also prosecute them as well.
All right, Nii, thank you for your contribution. We're actually going to take more reports now from different parts of the country, and we will return to you in the course of the program. Now, transportation along the Port Harcourt-Aba route is currently hampered owing to railway washout and vandalism of rail infrastructure. At the time, a number of the roads are in deplorable conditions. Concerned stakeholders want increased awareness on the dangers of vandalism and stiffer sanctions against culprits. Kingsley Amajiri reports.
Prior to the reported incident of train derailment along Port Harcourt-Aba route on December 24, 2019, rail transportation had become popular again. Investigation revealed that the derailment was caused by the activities of economic saboteurs who removed some tracks from the rail line.
When we want to go Aba, enter railway and go, they can enter this thing, go Aba. National nowhere again. When the introduction of rail transport came in, it was like a relief. It was something, a dream come true. How come now do our youth, instead of supporting the government, they are trying to vandalize the rail system? They are trying to bring up backwardness.
While there are calls for increased surveillance along the Port Harcourt-Aba rail line, some observers enjoin the authorities to upgrade facilities and possibly modernize the rail services to conform with international standards.
This was when the rails were moving with coal. They need to modernize this rail system. If you catch them, hand them over to police for prosecution in the law court, and if they found guilty, they should pay for it.
An official of the Nigerian Railway Corporation who spoke to NTA News noted that track washout is also an issue.
For quite some time, vandalism has been an ever-present issue. A train departed Aba station 5 a.m. in the morning, and by 06 hours something, the train derailed at after Oak station. Why? Because the track had been removed. If the media can begin to educate our people, when they go and vandalize track like that, one, it constitutes a criminal offense.
The Eastern District Manager, who disclosed that a number of convictions have been secured, however, called for more public enlightenment on the dangers of rail infrastructure vandalism on the suspects and on the economy at large. In Port Harcourt, Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
As Nigerians await the completion of the new Lagos-Ibadan rail project, which is capable of unleashing huge economic potential, the poor attitude of criminal elements who vandalize public infrastructure for personal gains comes to mind. To this end, stakeholders have called for policies and measures that can safeguard government's investment. Dayo Gunshala in this report takes a look at the negative impact of vandals on such projects and what is required to safeguard the huge investment.
Federal government is leaving no one in doubt of its desire to turn around the nation's infrastructure, aimed at preparing further 156.5 kilometer double-line track standard gauge between Lagos and Ibadan, which is part of the longer Lagos-Kano line. Stakeholders believe the project holds great economic potentials. But in all of these, activities of criminal elements vandalizing parts of the project, even while work is yet to be completed, is worrisome. Pandro clips, pitch plates, elastic spikes, boats and nuts have been reportedly stolen along the Lagos-Ibadan rail line.
That attitude, to me, is totally unacceptable. A project that has not been completed, why would somebody go there and be vandalizing and be stealing such infrastructure? It is totally unacceptable.
The material they take off, most of them are very small, but the impact on the safety of the track is huge. By the time you take off boats, fish plates, these are things that are holding down the railings and the track. It could lead to accidents.
The trend, if not curtailed, may not only reduce the lifespan of the project, but is capable of denying masses the benefits of the huge financial commitment of the government. Economic development of any nation requires strong infrastructural base. Of course, when government have provided this, the use, maintenance and protection requires a collaborative effort. The expectation is that Nigerians will play their own role in this regard. In Ibadan, Dayo Gunshala, NTA News.
Thank you, Dayo. We'll take a short break now. When we come back, we'll return to Lagos and, of course, engage our guest.
You don't wait for life. You go to meet life. It's not about how many chances you get. It's what you do with what you've got. Cup after cup. Morning after morning. Start strong. Finish strong. It all starts with a Nescafe.
It's really tough right now. It's hard to expand my business.
Exactly. You know, many farmers depend on me. All these banks saying they don't see my vision.
Good evening, gentlemen. Sorry for interrupting. That's not exactly true. How do you know? I'm living proof.
Mind if I join you?
Not at all.
Just last year, I had planned to expand my hospitality business. It was tough, but I met the right people.
So, who exactly are these people?
My bank, FCMB. Eddie, their bills on the house. I forgot to mention, this is one of our hotels. Have a great night, gentlemen.
With the right guys who believe in your visions, getting to your desired destination is easier and quicker. Let's help you take the next step. FCMB, my bank, and I.
My busy now 2 or 4 days when my girls won't come visit and I need to come go expire.
Oh, but my guys, they can't follow me watch this match. I must not fold the hand. Hey.
Babe, what's happening? With the corner, Matip is there.
The new My Go TV app is everything you need in one place. So what are you waiting for? Download My Go TV app now from Google Play or App Store to enjoy the easy life. Go TV. Live it, love it.